Today's video is about how you can pick the best properties in the lower income and rural areas so you can still have good returns and less problems. Great to see you back. Today, we're going to be talking about investing in lower income and rural areas. So when I first started, I was investing into like lower middle class. Great money, great rental income, great stability, properties are in great condition or good condition. It's a really good spot to start your game. Now, I was coming to a point where I was getting tapped out. So I decided I would like to go to areas that have higher cap rates. For all you new guys out there, higher cap rates means more return on your money. So I started buying in lower income areas, rural areas to try to get a higher return. What I didn't know is the reason, and didn't realize because I thought I was so awesome, is that these lower income areas and these rural areas, the reason they give a higher return is because there's more problems. Today's video is about how you can pick the best properties in the lower income and rural areas so you can still have good returns and less problems. Let's accept the facts. You're never gonna get rid of all the problems, but what you're gonna make your money is by reducing the problems as much as possible so you can consistently bring in your returns, consistently bring in the rent. So here we go. When you are in the rural area, your goal is to buy in a downtown market. You want to be in the busiest part of the rural area. When you're doing that, you're likely to have people that can get jobs, and you're likely to have more visibility and more accessibility to really basic things that you would get in the city. So for those people that have never been in the rural area, parts of the rural area do not have running water. That's right. Your water comes from a pump. So if that pump breaks down, you don't have water inside of your property. So if you're in a downtown market, you're actually gonna more likely get running water and you're not gonna be requiring a pump system. A lot of these properties do not have sewer systems. They have septic tanks. So every 18 months, you gotta have to get that septic tank pumped out. If you guys don't know what a septic tank is, all of your used water and your toilet water go into this big tank and go out into this field, which is good for your grass and your trees and your plants. But if that tank breaks, you cannot flush your toilet anymore. So make sure that if you're gonna be in those areas that you're either your septic tank's in great condition or you're in a downtown market where in the rural area, you're gonna have actual sewer system. You're gonna have accessibility to gas. You'll have accessibility to the fire department, because if you're in a rural area and you're 10 miles away, your house might burn down by the time the fire department comes out there. So there's certain things that you want to be considerate when you're investing in the rural area. You want to be close to the downtown market so people can have jobs, pay their rent, and you have the safety and you have basic human needs and necessities met without having a far distance drive. Now, if you're investing in a low income neighborhood, say you're investing in, for example, I used to invest in South St. Pete in the lower income part of South St. Pete. Parts of South St. Pete are very rough. Now, the reason you're getting higher rents is because you have tenants that don't pay their rent or maintain the property very well, or you have crime that you're dealing with. You can still deal with those issues and perform well and make money. I know a lot of people who make a lot of money in that market. But there's some key things you need to remember when you're investing in that market. What I found is you need to invest in a property that's on a busy road. If you're on a busy road, you have a lot of visibility and you have it's a lot more safer because of the visibility and the police driving up and down, and the people that live there also feel safer. You have less crime and less vandalism to your property, people stealing things, breaking into your property. All of that is reduced if you're on a very visible road. And obviously that very visible road is most likely going to be close to work, in stores. So it's easier for someone to live there and not have a car. If you're owning a property in a lower income neighborhood, but it's not on a visible road, and it's actually has a back alleyway and has very little traffic, it's more likely that things are gonna happen there that would not happen on a very busy road. It's more likely for certain things to happen in the alleyway, and for people to use your house as a drug house, and for the cops to knock down the door to arrest people, and you get charged $7,000 public nuisance fee, which, just so you know, it's very hard to fight. So just get ready to pay $7,000 fee on a property you're only collecting $550 in rent per month. So there is issues that are involved with that. And a lot of it also is maintenance. It is less, for some reason, those properties are less maintained, and vandalism is also higher. So by owning on a busier road, having more visibility, the tenants feeling safer, closer to work, and less need for a car, you're actually gonna have a higher return. Even though the two properties I mentioned, I owned one on an alleyway and I owned one on the busy road, both of them were about two streets away from each other. But the two streets make a significant difference. So the other point, just so you guys know about regarding construction, I prefer block construction properties over wood construction properties. The property that was on the busy road was wood construction. The property that was on the alleyway was a very well-built, solid block property. But the wood property performed better than the solid block property, which made me realize that location can trump the quality of build of the property. What is the BRRRR strategy? So the BRRRR method is buy, remodel, rent, refinance. The goal is to buy a property about 50% under retail value. So you're gonna buy a $200,000 property and your goal is to buy it for $100,000. And then you're gonna spend about $40,000 to say, I'm gonna say $40,000 to remodel it and your closing costs. At that point, you're in the project for $140,000. You can go and get a refinance, a cash out refinance, to pay off what your hard money loan and any money you put into the remodel. At that point, you have no money in the deal, because if you bought it for $100,000, spent $40,000 on the remodel, you get a loan for $140,000, which washes your initial loan and the amount you put down. You now have no money in the deal, and you own the property with none of your own cash. You have a tenant in there, they're paying the rent, the taxes, the insurance, the maintenance, and then you use the money to do another deal. That is called the BRRRR method. Now, some people would say, why would anyone sell someone a property that's half price? The reason that they're gonna sell a property half price is because they cannot sell it to anybody else. No one can get a loan on this type of property if they're just a regular consumer. Unless you're in the business and you can get a hard money loan or you have the cash to do the deal, you cannot get financing. So you have to find someone specifically that could take on this deal and manage the remodel. Not many people want to take on a project that requires a lot of work. So that is the reason why you can get a property that low and be able to apply the BRRRR method. In my scenario, I bought a $700,000 to $800,000 home, depending on how you value it. I bought it for $289,000, and I'm gonna be roughly spending about $150,000 on this property. So by the time I'm done within closing costs, I'll be in for about $450,000, $475,000, and I'm planning to sell it for roughly around $650,000 to $700,000 under market value, but I want to make it a quick sale. Or I could do a cash out refinance and do the BRRRR method on that deal. So that is a possibility. That is an example of a project that you can do. I prefer not to do it for that specific example I just gave you. I'd rather just sell the property. So that's the BRRRR method. So is using the BRRRR method a good idea to buy your first property? You can use it. Remember, what would you need other than money? You would need to be able to find the deal and assess what is it going to cost to remodel the property. Because if you don't know how much it's going to cost to remodel the property, you're not going to be able to execute the BRRRR method. So say you buy a property for $100,000 that completed it's worth $200,000, but you don't know how to value of the remodel. So you spend $100,000 on your remodel. So now you basically spent $200,000 between $100,000 purchase and $100,000 remodel. spent 200 total on a property that's only worth 200. So when you sell it, you're gonna spend around 7% in fees between closing costs and agent fees and so on, not ignoring carrying costs. You would actually lose money. So it would be important for you to know how to assess the value of a property, assess the actual cost of the remodel. If you can do those two things, that is gonna be helpful for you to determine, are you gonna make money? The next point you would need to do is find people that can actually do the work. And that's when it's really important to start making connections and building a good team. To take your game to the next level, click on the video above. It'll show you why I buy C and D class properties in A and B class areas. I'll see you next time.